Hello. Today we're going to be covering Passportal Password Management basic functionality. It's a fairly simple tool to use. To start with, once you've added it to your browser, you'll see the icon in the upper right-hand corner. To access its functionality, simply click on the icon and you'll see it'll pull a drop down. If you want to search for a particular site that you've already added the password, simply type in the name of that site and it'll pull up all of the related sites. You can then say launch if you want to just launch the site, or if you already have the site open and you just need to copy the username or the password, you can copy the username or copy the password. It also gives you a few more options if you click on the three buttons. You can launch the URL, which is launch the website. You can view the password, or you can edit the password, or if it's one you don't want anymore, you can disable that password. If you've changed the password, then you might want to just go in and edit the password and update the new one. It will ask you if it wants to, anytime you go to change the password and you log in with a different password, it will ask you if you want to update it. But let's say we just want to launch this web page and go to it. I can simply click on launch. It's going to go to that site, fill in the credentials that it has stored, and then I can say sign in. I've signed in. I didn't have to remember the password for that site, and yet my passwords are secure. It's a fairly easy way to have that access. Another great tool is when you're changing your password or you're logging into a new site and it asks you for that password and it asks for random characters, capitalizations. Great point about password management is you don't have to try to remember those and you don't have to get creative on creating them. Let the password generator do that for you. You can create how large you want it to be. In my case, I use 12. I use A through Z lowercase, uppercase, 0 through 9, and special characters. If I click here, it will randomly generate me a password that the good news is I don't have to remember, but it's a very complex password that'll make it very hard to crack. And I can have different ones again for every website or login that I have. The only password I have to remember is the password to my password manager. If I look at this one and I don't want this one, I can simply refresh and it'll give me a new one. It'll randomly generate that password every time. If I want to make that password shorter, I can make it shorter. Or if I want to make it longer, I can make it longer. By default, 12 is normally a good number to use when you're creating passwords. Once you're done, if you want to copy that password, you can simply click on copy and it'll copy that password to the clipboard. A couple of other features that I want to cover with you really quick is when you're in here and you want to make some changes, there's a few settings that you're going to want to look at. One of those settings are in application behavior. In application behavior, if you click on that, you'll see it'll give you a couple of other options. Auto capture credentials gives you the ability to, the first time you log in, it's going to pop up and say, do you want to save this? The other thing it's going to do is it's going to ask you, do you want to change the password if the password it has stored is different than the password you have? So it gives you that options. Autofill will autofill your passwords. If you go to a web page, not through the Passportal, but you just go to a web page, do you want it to automatically fill in the username and password? And you can also have it just automatically log you in. So it'll automatically put in your username, automatically put in your password, and automatically hit enter to log you in. And then you can do it without prompting you for anything if you want it to. You have options to open it up in a new websites in a new tab, or just use the existing tab. And then when it opens up, do you want it to go to websites or credentials? That websites or credentials is actually here. You can see you've got websites or credentials would be the actual logins. That's a brief overview of how it works. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at pro-it@teamats. Hope you have a great day.